For this week, this episode, including any ads throughout, will be catering to ASMR and may be triggering for some people to listen to. While I always hope the sound of my voice delivers a trigger of joy and happiness, I do understand that some may have to skip this one. And I just want to tell those of you that may not continue listening to have a beautiful week, and we'll tap in for the next episode. And now for business as usual. You ever hit that 3 p.m. slump and suddenly you're questioning every decision you've ever made? Like, why did I agree to go out and answer emails today? Yep, you get it. You've been there too. So let me put you on real quick to Bloom supplements. As you get to know Fani, you will learn that I love a good supplement. Something to make me feel better and just really help my body feel good about itself when it's feeling like, Nana, we need help, and bad, we are struggling. That's when I'm like, I need a solution. Now a homegirl introduced me to Bloom, and of course the branding got me off rip. I'm a sucker for good branding. Cute and healthy, I'm in. So I tried the brand and I'm obsessed. The greens, fire. The pre and probiotics got my gut feeling like it's on a yoga retreat. The energy drinks, I love the strawberry watermelon sound, especially with a little sparkling water and a fresh squeeze of lime. It's so good. And since we're still getting to know each other, I read all of the label. It doesn't have any weird fillers, no fake nonsense, just clean, plant-based magic that tastes so good, which is a blessing because I'm not going to hold you. Some of those green powders and healthy drinks saben a puro ya tu sabe, and it's not good. But Bloom is that girl, and I love her. So if you're trying to glow up, desde adentro pa afuera, trust me, Bloom's got you. Head to bloomnu.com, BLOOMNU.com, and get you some, because wellness should feel good and taste good too. And Bloom does just that. Hello, and thank you for joining me today for another episode of Too Long to Listen. If this is your first time tuning in, first of all, thank you. Out of all of the podcasts out there, you chose me, and I love that for us. My name is Fani Dominguez, and I'm becoming everyone's favorite new podcast host. This week, I've had gratitude on my mind a lot. My girl Jess Matos, who also has a fire podcast that I love and will introduce to y'all, but she always posts about her trying to show her gratitude more, and I think we need to do that more as a people because mi gente, we have lost the plot. I always feel a sense of gratitude for things, even if I don't say it publicly. I'm grateful for being able to pay my bills, eat good, love good, smoke good. Yes, we do the cannabis over here. And just overall be a good person. I'm grateful for the people I have in my life and the way my friends keep me fed in all aspects of it. Truly a beautiful thing. In the comments, I want y'all to tell me at least one thing you're grateful for. Being back in Puerto Rico is something I'm truly grateful for. I've had to get used to a lot. Going from living a life of convenience to being one of the most remote people I know. I don't resent it though. It just forces me to live life differently than in LA, where an Amazon order could be delivered in a few hours. Everything is available if you go for a quick drive. I don't have to drive everywhere because Uber is there, you know, silly conveniences. Where I'm at in PR is the complete opposite. Online orders take a minimum of a week or two to get to me. I have to use a P.O. box because I don't have an actual address that the post office will deliver to. Uber Eats doesn't come my way. So I literally have to make every single meal or walk half a mile just to get to a restaurant or food truck. And that's not too bad, but it's not a quick and easy 1, 2, 3 fix. Despite all of that, I genuinely love being here and wouldn't trade it for the world. The kind of peace I get out here is unmatched, and LA could never, nor could any other place I've lived. It's just what my spirit needed, forcing myself to sit the fuck down and cogerlo con take it easy. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm whispering or speaking in a softer voice, and that's because today's episode is all about ASMR. It's funny because I'm such a loud person, so walk with me as I try my best to cater to my ASMR honeys. But before we get into the shows and everything else, let's pause for a brand moment. As you may already know, most of us ethnic folks are lactose intolerant. We do not come from cows, so of course, naturally, regular milk is going to cause some issues for us. So when I found out about Ghost Town Oats, I instantly became a fan. You mean to tell me that we have an oat milk brand created by Black queer baristas, like on some FUBU energy, and its branding is pink? Instant cop. And after the first taste, I was sold for life. So much so that I even invested a little bit of my coins into the brand. It's exactly what I need for my cafecitos, cereal in the morning, lo que sea. You name it, and I'm gonna make it with Ghost Town Oats. I even used it to make coquito for the holidays for my vegan and lactose intolerant friends because they too deserve our Boricua holiday traditions. Supporting Ghost Town Oats is like putting your money where your values are, and I love that for me. I don't have to question if the company I'm supporting aligns with what I'm about. So the next time you're at the coffee shop getting your cafecito for the day, ask them for Ghost Town Oats. Or if you want to cop some for the crib, go to ghosttown.world and see how you too could be great with a pink carton of Ghost Town Oats. And now, for our opening thoughts. You ever stop and think about how wild the mind really is? I mean, it's just this 3-pound organ sitting in our skulls, but it runs absolutely everything. Our moods, our cravings, our fears, our joy. One thought can change the whole direction of your day. One memory can make your stomach drop or make you laugh out loud in a quiet room. Sometimes you can even feel that very moment all over again. And what gets me is how invisible it all is. You can't touch a thought. You can't hold a feeling in your hand. You can't physically travel back to a moment. And then there's the stuff that feels almost unexplainable. Like, why do some of us get comforted by the simplest things? A page turning, someone speaking softly, the sound of rain on a window. That's ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. Just the name sounds complicated, but the experience is so human. It's your brain reacting in a way science still doesn't fully understand. A whisper can calm your heartbeat. The scratch of a pen on paper can quiet a racing mind. A little tapping sound can feel like a reset button for your whole nervous system. What I love about ASMR is how it reminds us that our minds aren't just computers processing information. They're storytellers. They take in these tiny details and turn them into something bigger. Safety, comfort, even euphoria for some people. And that's the real magic. The mind knows what we need sometimes before we do. It knows when to let go, when to lean in, when to soften. ASMR is just one of the ways it reveals how much wonder it's capable of. So today I want to sit with that. I want to think about the strange, beautiful ways the mind works and how something as simple as a whisper or a soft sound can remind us we're human, we're alive, and we're wired for connection, even when it comes from the quietest corners. So let's get into the types of ASMR. First up, the most common one, sound-based ASMR. This is the classic stuff you see on social media. Whispers, tapping, scratching, all that. People love soft-spoken voices right up on the mic. Those gentle little taps on glass or wood. The nails dragging across fabric or paper. And then You've got the crinkling, chip bags, foil, plastic wrap. It's everyday stuff, but somehow it makes your brain feel like it's melting in a good way. Now, this next one is controversial. Mouth sounds. Some people love the little clicks, the chewing, the lip smacks. It gives them tingles. Other people, instant ick. There's no middle ground. I personally get the ick instantly too, sometimes irrationally angry at certain mouth sounds. And then there are the liquid sounds, like stirring a cup of coffee or ice clinking in a glass. Simple, but it hits different when you're lying in bed trying to zone out. I love the way ice clinking in a glass of certain beverages sounds. I'm definitely the type to get tingles of joy when I hear ice clink in a glass, especially a jar not meant for beverages. And don't forget writing sounds, pens on paper, chalk writing on a board, even the rhythm of typing. For some people, that's the ultimate ASMR vibe. ASMR, though, isn't just about what you hear. There's visual ASMR, too, like watching slow hand movements, light play, or those YouTube role plays where somebody pretends to give you a haircut or a spa treatment. Even painting, slime, stand art, all of it can trigger that same relaxing response. You know how you feel when you watch something be cooked on anime, and just how calming it is and how much joy it brings you? That's ASMR. There's also tactile ASMR, which is more in person. Stuff like someone brushing your hair, doing your makeup, or giving you a scalp massage. Those can be triggers too. You know how some people, when they go to bed, and it's usually someone that started this as a child, but they rub the sheets together and that friction between the sheet calms them. It's the same thing. And for storytellers, there's cognitive ASMR. That's when the scenario itself is the trigger. Somebody reading you a book in a soft voice, guiding you through a fantasy, or just explaining how to fold laundry in that slow, deliberate way. Mundane, repetitive stuff can actually be incredibly soothing if you allow it. And lastly, natural ASMR. Rainstorms, waves, birds, the crackle of a fireplace, even the hum of a fan in the background. Basically, the sounds that make you feel grounded without even trying. Those are some of my favorite. Rain and sounds of water will always bring me to peace. And fun fact, there's also unintentional ASMR, like you might be watching a YouTube video of someone explaining how to fix a car engine or giving a really dry lecture, and suddenly you realize, wait, this is actually relaxing. So yeah, ASMR isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's personal, it's weird, it's wonderful, and that's what makes it so fascinating. Okay, now let's get into these podcasts. First up, we have Safe Space ASMR. This one is literally what it sounds like. The title is not lying. It's cozy, it's calm, it's personal attention done right. I'm talking about those moments where you're stressed, your brain won't quit, and someone just comes in and says, hey, breathe. Tú vas a estar bien. That's what this podcast gives you. From role plays where someone's checking in on you or checking you into your spa appointment, to whispered reminders to slow your thoughts, to soft background sounds that feel like they're wrapping around you. It's like a little audio hug in your ear, and I promise that's not an exaggeration. You get roleplay ASMR, which is like someone is actually in the room with you, talking you through whatever tension you're holding through your body. And then there are pure sleep triggers, like soft taps, gentle crinkles, subtle background noises that feel intentional but effortless. And for those of us who like a little ambiance, there are these moments that are so spa-like, so calming. You swear you can almost smell lavender or hear water trickling somewhere nearby, because let's be real, a spa without a water feature or some kind of lavender scent is not a spa for me. And the whispers, oh, y'all, The whispers hit that perfect frequency in your brain that makes your chest loosen, your shoulders drop, and your mind start to chill. You'll catch yourself thinking, this is exactly what I needed. And not all whisper ASMR shows or channels do it for me. Some of the whispers actually sound creepy or forced. The ones where you can hear the heavier breathing disrupt my spirit so deeply I can't do it. Episodes are usually about 20 to 30 minutes long, which is perfect because it's long enough to really let your mind and body start to relax, but short enough that it doesn't feel like a big commitment. You're not signing up for an hour-long lecture on calm or mindfulness. It's just enough to reset your brain, maybe drift toward a nap, or have a few quiet moments of peace before you go back into the chaos of your day. And honestly, in the half hour, Safe Space ASMR manages to give you this delicate mix of soothing sounds, whispered affirmations, and small personal attention role plays that leave you feeling lighter when the episode is done. As for frequency, this show is pretty steady. You can expect new episodes about twice a week. And that's key because, let's be real, sometimes one session of ASMR just isn't enough, and sometimes you don't want to repeat it. Some weeks you need 2, 3, maybe 4 little pockets of calm. And Safe Space ASMR delivers without missing a beat. The hosts don't just talk to you, they guide you, they soothe you. They create this safe little bubble for your mind to rest in. Honestly, this podcast might just become your go-to audio escape, your little pocket of peace in a world that feels way too loud. There's the throne for whispering. Maria, host of the show, is definitely sitting on it, and the crown is soft-spoken. What I love about her work is that she's taken something kind of niche, whispering into a mic, making little sounds, and turned it into a full-on experience. We're talking sleep meditations, mouth sounds, gentle breathing exercises, soft affirmations, relaxing background music. She literally covers every angle that your stressed out brain could possibly need. And she does it with such care that it never feels random. You can tell every sound, every whisper, every little nuance is intentional. Her voice alone is like someone tucking your thoughts into a soft blanket and saying, take a minute and just calm down. Relájate, just take it easy. And the way she structures her episodes, I love it. 1 second you're hearing her whisper your name. The next you get this soft crinkle of paper. Or brushing sounds, like someone is just gently organizing your world for you. And then the affirmations are little bursts of calm and self-love that just hit right. They come in at the most perfect moments. It's kind of like a spa day for your brain, but without the overpriced water and awkward small talk. You can close your eyes, breathe, and just let her audio wrap around you. It's an experience that makes you feel cared for, and honestly, in today's world, that's priceless. Now let's talk timing, because I know some of y'all are like me and thinking, do I even have time for this? But each episode runs about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's ideal. It's not an hour-long commitment that leaves you feeling stressed about finishing. It's just enough time to let your brain slow down and maybe drift toward a little nap if you're lucky. It's the perfect pre-bedtime companion, or even just a mid-afternoon mental reset when your day has been messy. And Maria doesn't post on a strict schedule. She puts out new content consistently that you can always count on, having a fresh episode waiting for you. That reliability is so underrated. Honestly, y'all, gentle whispering is a vibe. It's calm, it's nurturing, and almost maternal in the best way possible. It's not just ASMR, it's a mini escape, a mental breath, a safe little corner of the internet where your mind can chill for a little bit. If you're trying to sleep, meditate, or just take a break from it all, this podcast has your back and your nerves. It's soothing and exactly what we all need sometimes. Okay, so let's move into something a little unexpected in the ASMR space. Trisha Paytas Tingles and Triggers. Now, I know when you hear that name, you're probably thinking a drama. You're thinking a YouTube chaos. You're thinking, what did Trisha girl do now? But let me tell you, this podcast is not what you'd expect. Trisha has taken all of that energy and flipped it into this wild little corner of ASMR content where the focus is purely on sound, triggers, and honestly, a softer side of her that people don't always give credit to. Now, I'm not a fan of hers in the slightest. I genuinely only know of her through memes and things she probably shouldn't have said or done. But people love her, and though she may not be for me, I get it. So this podcast is a YouTube-only series, so you're not finding it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I personally haven't wanted to focus on YouTube-only podcasts, mainly because I feel like podcasts should truly prioritize the audio element of a show. And YouTube tends to take away from that. But I respect them mainly because YouTube is also the most accessible and cost-effective platform for the listener, but also for the creators simply because YouTube is more lucrative than any other DSP. And since Trisha's show is strictly video-based, it means Trisha leans into the visual and audio triggers. The main one, nail tapping. If you've ever seen Trisha, you know the nails are always done, always long, always extra. And in this context, they work perfectly. There's something rhythmic and oddly hypnotic about those tapping sounds on glass, on wood, on random objects you wouldn't even think of. I love hearing nails clack on a keyboard. It just does something to me. It makes me feel whole. Combine that with her soft spoken delivery, little whispers, and moments of intentional quiet, and suddenly Trisha is giving you the tingles instead of tabloid headlines. Episodes usually run about 30 to 45 minutes long, sometimes longer depending on the vibe. And that's actually perfect because if you're settling in at night and you want to zone out, she gives you plenty of time to get there. You don't feel rushed. You're not left wanting more after 10 minutes. It's a full session. And what I love about this is that Trisha doesn't overthink it. It's not scripted. It's not overly produced. It's raw in the best way possible. And just her, a mic, and her nails, creating this steady rhythm that your brain can't help but lock into. And listen, sometimes simplicity is exactly what you need. Now, as far as consistency, Trisha doesn't publish on a strict schedule. It's a little more sporadic, but she has been keeping the content fresh with new uploads about once or twice a month lately. And when she does drop, the fans show up. And I mean, can you blame them? It's Trisha doing ASMR. It's entertaining, it's soothing, and it's weirdly personal. Like, even if you came for the curiosity factor, you stay because the triggers actually work. It's like catching someone you've never expected to whisper in your ear and realizing, wait, this is kind of relaxing. So if you're an ASMR fan who doesn't mind heading to YouTube, or if you're just curious about how someone like Trisha Paytas can take on ASMR, Tingles and Triggers is absolutely worth a listen. It's playful, it's quirky, and yeah, it'll give you the tingles in a way only Trisha could deliver. Ahora con la próxima, let's switch gears a little and talk about the French whisper. This one is such a gem. Imagine your favorite history teacher, the one who actually made you care about dates and battles and random facts. But instead of yelling over a classroom, they're whispering softly into your headphones, guiding you into sleep. That's exactly the energy of the French whisper. Sleep in ASMR takes historical storytelling and blends it with ASMR triggers. Soft speaking, gentle pacing, the kind of voice that makes even Napoleon's campaigns feel like a lullaby. Nothing more calming to the spirit than listening to stories of colonization and bloodshed through war. But this podcast actually makes me want to listen. And here's what I love. This podcast doesn't just hit you with the random facts. The French Whisperer curates entire journeys. One episode might be about the rise and fall of an entire empire, and the next might be a quiet meditation on literature, philosophy, or even science. But the delivery, always slow, calm, and deliberate. It's storytelling as relaxation therapy. You're learning, but you're also winding down. It's like sneaking knowledge into your dreams, and I'm not mad about that. Episodes usually run about 30 to 40 minutes, which is perfect for either falling asleep or just zoning out to at the end of a hard day. And unlike some ASMR creators who are hit or miss with uploads, the French Whisperer is consistent. He publishes regularly, about once a week, so there's always something new to put on when your brain needs that combo of calm and curiosity. It's not flashy, it's not gimmicky, it's steady, it's thoughtful, and it's deeply soothing. So if you've ever wanted your bedtime stories to come with a little substance, Sleep in ASMR by the French Whisperer is it. It's the kind of podcast that not only quiets your mind, but leaves you with something to think about the next day, if you even remember it after that blissful sleep you just got. Now, let's shine a spotlight on someone in the community who deserves so much more recognition. With love, Grace. Grace is a Puerto Rican ASMR creator bringing something special to the space. I know you've heard me say in a previous episode, but I'll say it again. If it's Puerto Rican, I am supporting it until I have a reason not to. So Grace, vamos por ti. What sets her apart is how personal and how cultural her content feels. She's not just making sounds. She's creating comfort that feels rooted in identity and connection. There's something deeply grounding about her work. It's like a warm hug in audio form. She published an episode where she's eating an empanadilla here in PR, and it's like, yes. Despite me not liking chewing and eating sounds, I love that you're sharing with those that do what it sounds like to truly enjoy greatness of an empanadilla. Grace leans into traditional ASMR triggers, soft whispers, brushing, role plays, tapping, but she also weaves in the sense of intimacy. You feel like she's talking to you, not just into a microphone. There's authenticity in her delivery that makes you let your guard down instantly. She's not trying to put on a performance. She's creating safe space for her listeners. And that's what so many people turn to ASMR for. Feeling seen, feeling held, feeling like someone cares enough to whisper, feeling like someone cares enough to whisper you into calmness. Her episodes usually run about 20 to 25 minutes, which I think is a sweet spot. Long enough to settle into, short enough to not feel like a whole production. And she publishes pretty consistently too, about every 1 to 2 weeks. So you never really have to wait long for that next dose of comfort. She's steady, and she's building something beautiful. If you're looking for an ASMR creator that isn't just sound triggers, but a true feeling of presence, check it out. With love, Grace. It's soft, it's soothing, it's personal, and it's a reminder that ASMR is so much bigger than singles. It's about that connection. And lastly, let's talk about calm history. This podcast takes one of the most common sleep struggles, racing thoughts at nights, and solves it with trivia and storytelling, but not in the way that you think. The host takes historical events, quirky little facts, and bedtime-style narratives and tells them so slowly and so gently that you literally cannot hold on to your stress anymore. Your brain just gives in. And calm history isn't about ASMR in the traditional sense. You're not going to hear tapping, mouth sounds, or brushing. Instead, the ASMR here is in the rhythm. The host's voice is steady, measured, with these perfectly timed pauses that let you sink deeper and deeper into relaxation. It's the auditory equivalent of someone dimming the lights in your mind, almost like what unintentional ASMR is. These episodes are a little bit longer, reaching 40 to 50 minutes on average, which actually is ideal for people who need time to drift off. And the release schedule is consistent. You can count on weekly uploads, which means every Sunday night or Monday morning, you've got something new to help ease you into the week. And that reliability makes this podcast more than just content. It becomes part of your routine. So if you've wanted to try ASMR with all the sounds and the tingles, and it's not quite your thing, Calm History might be the gateway. It's ASMR through storytelling and pacing. And once you try it, you'll never think of trivia the same way. It's no longer about knowing the facts. It's about letting them carry you into sleep. Now, there's plenty of other podcasts and YouTube channels out there that I didn't mention. For example, ASMR The Chew is one of the most popular. I know we use her videos a lot for memes. She does a lot of chewing content that just isn't for me, and eating content, which literally sends chills up my spine. But she is one of the GOATs of ASMR, and I have to give it to her. But there's a lot of great podcasts out there for ASMR, and mainly a lot of channels on YouTube. I feel like there is more space on the podcast side for Black and brown creators to have a space for them. And I think we need to tap in more. And I hope you enjoyed this group of podcasts that I shared with you on ASMR. I think they all are great in their own ways and really kind of touch on our need for certain things to give us peace and calmness. And before I get into my mic drop of the week, let me tell you about a brand that I love. Listen, I do not play when it comes to protecting my hair, okay? Whether I'm rocking fresh curls or new braids, St. Cayman eye bonnets is part of my nighttime routine along with the skincares. Once I'm ready for Betty, I pull down the built-in eye mask and tuck in. I've been using their bonnets every single night for at least a year, and let me tell you, these are not your regular degular beauty supply bonnets. Baby, the quality, luxury, the fit, secure, but never too tight because you can literally adjust it. It stays in place even when I'm tossing around in my sleep. But I don't use it just to go to bed. I use it on a plane too. A long flight, baby, I pull out my eye bonnet. I pull down the eye mask like I'm sitting in first class, even if I'm really sitting in 22A by the bathroom. So whether you sleep wild, travel often, or you just want your hair to stop breaking up with you, go grab a St. Cayman eye bonnet at stcayman.com and use code FANNYTHEPLUG to let them know Fanny sent you for a little discount. Your hair will say thank you. Now, I know last week we didn't do a lot of your fave segments, so this week we're making sure to bring them back. For this week, I'm also bringing back Cat Williams' quote to Shannon Sharpe when he went on Club Shay Shay, when he said to that man, "You have an unnatural allegiance to losers." Whew, I think that quote really deserves to be in the Smithsonian or something, because why do some of us have an unnatural allegiance to losers when it comes to friendships, dating, family ties, etc.? There are a lot of us who are making space for losers to continue to thrive just because we know them. And I think we need to hold ourselves accountable more for that. As we relocate ourselves into Fanny's Corner, let me share with y'all the question that I got for What Would Fanny Do? Aparentemente, on social media, it's been a huge conversation about if a coffee date is good or acceptable for a first date. And the question was, Fanny, do you feel if a coffee date is good or acceptable for a first date? And honestly, a lot of the girls and guys may not like what I have to say about it, but I genuinely love a coffee date or daytime dates as a whole. But liking coffee dates doesn't mean I don't want effort. A coffee date removes a lot of the anxiety around a first date. It's light. You come as you are. You learn a lot about someone in those moments. I've also had a coffee date turn into a whole day date that turned into a night date that turned into the next day date. But the real answer here is do what you like and don't listen to others. And if you don't like coffee dates, that's okay. Don't do them and don't agree to them. Just don't date people who don't like them. And if the person you're trying to date is really important to you, then get it right. Cater to their needs and wants. But that really is it. If somebody offers you a coffee date and you're not down, be like, ooh, I'd prefer something else for our first interaction. What do you think about XYZ? And I think we need to do that more. Instead, it's like, ugh, you asked me out for coffee. This is never going to work. And you could be passing up on the love of your life because of that. Just because they made a suggestion you didn't like in the beginning. That's it. Curtains. There's no more. You're done. But again, I want to be clear. I love an intentional first date. Taking me out to dinner could be intentional. But like my friends take me out to dinner too. So let's be thoughtful about what we're doing here. It's really in the company you keep and what you both would enjoy together. How can you take this first moment of interacting with someone in this way and make it special? That really is the key. And date people who like you or want to get to liking you more, because those people actually care about how you enjoy yourself with them. And stop going to social media for dating advice. Them folks are lonely and miserable on the URLs. They might need to experience a little more solitude, or they just need to pack it up and be alone. And lastly, it is time for Fanny's faves. Today's fave is how Puerto Ricans speak. I genuinely love our Spanish and how it's more like a Creole. We combine a few languages together and it just makes sense. English, Spanish, some of our indigenous vocabulary from the Tainos. And the way that we speak it is kind of very similar to an AVE that you would find in the States. When I'm asked how to say something in Spanish, I always Puerto Ricanize it to be the English word, pero con un acento. Like one of my favorites is we don't really say estacionamiento for parking. Instead, we say el parking. We don't say abastecimiento or servicio de comida. We say catering. It's so much a thing that McDonald's, and don't come for me, I'm just highlighting something about their marketing. But McDonald's recently updated their menus and did a campaign that puts the Puerto Rican pronunciation on the menu. For example, a double cheeseburger with bacon would not be ordered as un doble hamburguesa con queso y tocino. It would be un doble cheeseburger con bacon. It truly fascinates me, and I genuinely love it so much. It also makes it easier for me when I get stuck thinking in what I want to say in Spanish and just say it in English with an accent. I haven't consistently spoken Spanish with my people for at least 2 decades, so a lot of how we speak kind of left me. Especially living in LA. You would think that I could speak Spanish there easily, but our Spanishes are not the same. And sometimes people get weird about that. So English, it was. But now I'm speaking Spanish as much as I can to make sure I never lose it. My lovelies, we made it through another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, especially to this one. On next week's episode, we are going to be talking about preparedness. After prepping for this hurricane, it made me realize that maybe a lot of people aren't as prepared as they should be, and we need to change that. I don't want to give doomsday, but also, have you seen the state of American affairs? Mi gente, esto es un sancocho de mierda, and we all need to be prepared for worst case scenarios at all time. Please like, comment, share, and give us 5 stars on all of the platforms. Leave me some comments and let me know what you think of the episode. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, lo que sea. As always, como siempre, if something here moved you, send it to the group chat. Hit me up on socials and let me know what you're listening to, because at the end of the day, the only way we really learn is by listening. Muchísimas gracias, mi gente. Lo quiero mucho. I appreciate you for giving me your time. The pleasure is always mine. This week, stay tuned after the episode to listen to una musiquita de una artista that I came across. Let me know in the comments what you think. Signing off with so much love. Para la próxima. Bendiciones. Love, Fanny.